Alright guys, let's get through what's probably the biggest idea of this entire video series, and that is to create objects which are properly parented. That means that there is a parent object that controls a child object. In this case, this is the child of this, whoops, holy smokes, didn't want to do that, of this object. So that's what we want to learn to do really quick if we can. We'll go ahead and just go to a blank page, make a line segment, and then do a selection of these 2 points and ask for a perpendicular line, which magically we'll get. Then let's go ahead and select a point, or ask for a point to be constructed on that line, and that's actually upside down from where I wanted it, but that's okay, because no matter where we move that line, it is married to, or that point, it is married to this perpendicular line. And that actually gives us a cool option for transformations once we get our child object built. Now let's go ahead and hide this. I'm kind of rushing through this one because it's relatively involved video, and I have a 10-minute limit, as I believe I've mentioned. So anyway, we're going to select those points and construct segments, and then we'll go ahead and just kind of get this down to some sort of manageable size. We'll make a point out here somewhere in space. Looks like about where we want it. Maybe we would like it over here a little bit, doesn't matter, we can move it if we want. We'll go ahead and select those 2 points, transform, mark vector, select this whole object, transform, translate. Looks pretty good, we accept that. Now we can, if we use the parts of this triangle to make every other part of our coming triangle, then we will accomplish our goal. Now let's go ahead and do the translation of this point by transforming and rotating. And so that's fine, it's not where we wanted it, but we don't care, because we'll have to do we'll have to mark a vector any way we go, unless we just happen to pick exactly the one that the program likes for rotation, and in that case it will rotate around the point that it could rotate around the point that we wanted, but doesn't make that much of a difference. So anyway, here we go. We'll go ahead and transform this, and we'll mark a vector, and didn't really want that. I'd already done that, got tied up and tongue-tied there for a second. So let's mark that vector, and then we'll transform, translate, good, and we'll hide that off, make sure nothing else is selected, hide the objects, good to go. And then let's go ahead and do the same thing here. We'll do a transformation by rotate, and I do this when I get in a hurry. I forget to select all the things that I need to and make other kinds of mistakes. Anyway, there we go, rotate it, and then we will select these 2 points, transform, mark vector. And I know that we've kind of gone through this sort of entire thing previously, but this is a little bit more dedicated to this idea. Alright, there we go. Now we can hide these. Whoops, didn't want to hide that one. We can hide those 2 objects. Still in pretty good shape. So now what we can do here is we can ask for a rotation of that entire thing, and in doing so we'll have the basis for another one of our sides. So that is by no means what we want to happen. So let's go neg 90 and see what that does for us. That's a little better. We'll ask for that rotation. And now what we want to do is mark a vector between these points. And select this, 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 and this, and do that transformation by translate. Looks good. We'll go ahead and hide this, and hide this. Oh, oops, I hate it when I do that. So we want these two segments to hide and that point. Do this again. Hide the objects. Very, very good. Looking like what we want it to look like. Now we can simply mark a vector between here and here. Make this translation. Then we can go ahead and put an endpoint on the end of this line. Then we simply have to select our points that we want segments built into. Let's go ahead and do that. Construct that segment, and then let's construct this segment, and then we'll construct this segment. So there we go. Now let's see what we've done here. We've got the option to do this translation in this way. Our object stays together. That cool thing we were looking for. And then we also have this option, which not only which moves the points along the lines, changes the overall description of our basis triangles, and looks pretty good. Swing it around that way. Now we've got a lot of different options that we wouldn't have had we not made this parent association. And that is it for this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.